TV's Rob is unwoke. TV's Rob is unwoke. He's unwoke.
Welcome to It Is TV's Rob is unwoke. I am your very unhumble host, TV's Rob, and this week, wow, there is a lot to talk about, but the things I'm going to focus on the most include redemption, frustration, and woke idiots being woke idiots. But before I get into all of that, I gotta say, man, the 2021 NASCAR season is already over. And I am so sad. So sad. You know why? Because it's the thing that gets me through. Most of you like football, college football, whatever, NFL, blah, 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 baseball, whatever. Screw the Atlanta Braves. But for me, it's NASCAR. That's the sport that really gets me through. I can't cheer for Manchester United right now because they are just sucking, even though they brought back Cristiano Ronaldo. Fire the manager. I'm a stockholder in that team. Like, literally, I own stock in Manchester United. And as a stockholder, I say, get rid of Gunner, okay? He sucks. But the NASCAR season comes to a close, and that leads me into the first theme of today, which is redemption. And that came for one Kyle Larson. Now, if you don't remember who Kyle Larson is, he's a NASCAR driver who said something very unfortunate last year that cost him his ride, cost him his sponsors, cost him his dream home, cost him a lot. And it was unknown if he would ever return to the sport. And I talked about this in a previous episode when I said Rick Hendrick took a chance on this guy and it is paying dividends, and kudos to Rick Hendrick. But for those of you who don't know, here's what Larson had to say last year that got him into a lot of trouble.
I can see it. You can't hear me?
It's crazier.
Hey,
The body speaks.
wow, hey. Kyle, you're talking to everyone, bud. Yep, we heard that.
Oh, damn. He did not just
Yikes.
don't say anything.
So yes, in 2020, Kyle Larson made a huge mistake. He said a word that he shouldn't have said. He said a word that nobody should be saying. I'm sorry. At this point in 2021, nobody should be saying that word. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are, what creed you are, what sexuality you are, what gender you are. Nobody should be using that word. It's an antiquated word. I'm so sick of the double standard that comes along with it, because all of a sudden, that's our word. You can't use that word. That's our word. No. At this point in time, in 2021, it's nobody's word. It's a word that should be gone and forgotten and never used again. And of course, as everybody does when they make a huge grave mistake, what do? They take to social media and they immediately apologize.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry. Last night I made a mistake and said the word that should never, ever be said. And, there's no excuse for that. I wasn't raised that way. It's just an awful thing to say. And I feel very sorry for my family, my friends, my partners, the NASCAR community, and especially the African-American community. I understand the damage is probably unrepairable, and, I own up to that. But I just wanted to let you all know how sorry I am. And, I hope everybody is staying safe during these crazy times. Thank you.
So we all remember the fallout from this. Kyle Larson lost his job and everything. Well, at the end of the year, of course, he gets picked up by Rick Hendrick. And this year, redemption. 10 wins in the NASCAR Cup Series. 11 if you count the All-Star race that was held at Texas Motor Speedway this year. And he is your 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion.
One lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank.
Wow, Truex made up a lot of time again in turns 3 and 4. A huge amount of time.
He's closed the gap. The 5. now sees the 19. He's getting closer in the mirror. Down the backstretch for the final time.
There's going to be a lap car on the inside. Not going to allow Truex to run that low line that he wants to run.
Kyle Larson a year ago watched the race from North Carolina. Today, he's a Cup Series champion.
Oh my God, guys! Yes!
Here's a little bit of what he had to say right after the race, right after getting out of the car to NBC Sports.
I cannot believe it. I didn't even think I'd be racing a Cup car a year and a half ago. And to win a championship is crazy. I gotta say, first off, thank you so much to Rick Hendrick, HendrickCars.com, Jeff Gordon, NASCAR, every single one of my supporters in the stands, watching at home, my family. I've got so many of my friends and family here, my parents, my sister, my wife and kids. Owen had been giving me crap, a month and a half ago about how I can't win a Cup race when he's there. So that added a lot of pressure, but there were so many points of this race where I did not think that we were going to win. And without my pit crew on that last stop, we would not be standing right here. So they're the true winners of this race. They're true champions. I'm just blessed to be a part of this group. Every single man and woman at Hendrick Motorsports, this win is for all of us and every one of you. So this is unbelievable. I'm speechless.
When you crossed the finish line with those tears in your eyes, did you think about that day your dad brought that go-kart home without telling your mom, and that moment led to this?
I had a lot of thoughts there those last, really since before intros, right before intros, like it all hit me, and I had tears running down my face just doing the ride around. The crowd was cheering loud, and it was just a different atmosphere than I've ever been a part of. So this event was crazy. This format's wild. I'm glad we were able to get it done. And yes, a big shout out to my parents for getting me involved in racing. My dad for everything he did, building my go-kart when I was young to get me playing around. My mom for videotaping every lap I ever raced and give me something I can look at and study and get better. Gosh, so cool. I cannot believe it.
I mean, hands down, Kyle Larson completed one of the best seasons in NASCAR history by winning the season title. An 11.8 second pit stop under caution from Larson's number 5 Hendrick Motorsports team gave him the lead entering the race's final restart with just 24 laps to go. Larson from there did the rest, holding off fellow Championship 4 drivers Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, and Chase Elliott, the defending NASCAR Cup Series champion. He became the 35th driver to win a title in NASCAR's Premier Series. And I'm going to guess that this is not going to be his last. He's only 29 years old. This kid's going to be around for a while. And with Hendrick Motorsports, the organization that has won 14 Cup Series titles, with drivers like Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, and now Kyle Larson. Second chances are something that people should be given when they earn it. And that's exactly what Kyle Larson did. While he was suspended in 2020, he went out and, everybody says, educated himself and made donations and did this and that. Well, he also went out and just ran a lot of races on dirt and won a lot of races. But the week before the championship race, he was out at food banks donating money from his winnings to help those in need. This kid is also the very first Asian American driver to win a NASCAR Cup Series title. And what I hate to see on Twitter, right after the win, right after you get the tweets from NASCAR or Hendrick Motorsports, the first comment is always some bot troll that says, "Oh, racism wins again." I thought only white people could be racist. But either way, Kyle Larson proved the haters wrong, proved the doubters wrong, and he went from the proverbial poorhouse to the penthouse in one season. So yeah, Kyle Larson redeemed himself with this championship. 10 wins on this season, 11 if you count the All-Star race, like I said before. But more importantly, he was humble in victory, saying, I didn't think I'd be here. I was unsure of my future. The big thing that I take away, though, and of course, because I'm not a humble person, I'm not going to be the bigger person in any type of scenario. This is what happens when the woke cancel culture gets the double bird. Because this guy was able to take a bad situation and turn it into a great situation because somebody took a chance on him. And Rick Hendrick, I continue to salute you. TV's Rob here. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First and foremost, it's free. We all like free, right? There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, making it a lot easier than the way that I go about it. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, saving you the time, energy, and effort of having to do it yourself. It is a pain. You can make money from your podcast as well with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And if you start up a podcast using Anchor, I'll be your first guest.
On October 2nd, 2021, a movement was born. And as much as everybody tries to get away from the movement continues to live on. And that movement is, let's go, Brandon.
Oh my God, it's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first two stages and just watch and learn. What did you learn that helped you there in those closing laps?
Oh my God, it was learning how each line didn't stay to one. Everything shifted top to bottom so much that it was kind of like, okay, let's just stay patient where we're at and hope for the best.
There it is. The birth of the movement. That's right. The Let's Go Brandon movement. That has the left absolutely losing their minds and basically crapping their pants. Something so innocuous, something so ridiculous has now become the most divisive thing in the country. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do about Let's Go Brandon? Oh my God, everybody's got t-shirts. The right's using it as a dog whistle. Oh my God, what do we do about Let's Go Brandon? Stop. Now, I have a question for everybody out there. Do you even know who Brandon is? I honestly doubt most of you do. I mean, I'm sure some of you probably took to the interwebs and did the Googling on the Google machine to figure out who the hell is this Brandon guy. But let me enlighten you a little bit as to who Brandon is, just real quick. And then we'll move on to what I'm going to get to in this segment, which is woke idiots being woke idiots and deserving everything that comes to him for being an idiot. Brandon Brown simply is a race car driver, competing full-time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, driving his family-owned Brandon-built Motorsports Chevrolet Camaro. This guy is the living embodiment of the American dream. Coming from nothing, family just working hard to grow and let Brandon live out his dream of being a race car driver. Real simple. And him winning at Talladega was a huge deal because small independent team with a fraction of the funding as the big teams. For him to pull out a win, that was really special. Now, when I say that his Brandon-built Motorsports team has a funding issue, I mean, literally, they have a fraction of the budget that these big teams like Junior Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing, Team Penske, and others have in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, which is a developmental series. But still, money buys speed. And back in the summertime, Brandon Brown needed some money to buy some speed. And he took to social media and created this wonderful ad.
Race fans, this is incredibly tough to talk about, but I do know that there are going to be races that I'm going out unsponsored, nobody in the car is going to be blank. And I'm bringing the deal to you here at Brandonville Motorsports. You can come on down to the number 68 where we're first sale. You can see your company right here on this 68 Chevy Camaro hot rod. Are you tired of spending your company's hard-earned dollar on some of these garbage advertisements? Pow! Come on down where the 68 works for you. We got quarter panels. We got deck lids. We got seat posts. You could sponsor my rear end. So come on down to Brandonville Motorsports where we have the fire deal and we'll take care of you.
You know, and I have a way for Brandon Brown to make even more money off of this. Anybody, any entity, any company that is printing and making and selling Let's Go Brandon merchandise, and yes, I'm looking at you, Colonel Sanders, among others, you guys need to all cut a check and send it to Brandon Built Motorsports and say, thank you, Brandon. Thank you. Who knows? Maybe he'll put your name on his rear end. Okay. Now that I got that off my chest, I gotta say, I feel really bad for NBC Sports reporter Kelly Stavist because she was in the most impossible situation that any broadcaster faces. You're on the front stretch, you're doing a post-race celebration interview, and the crowd is chanting something that, you know, you can't say on TV, really. So she says something. She just says, let's go, Brandon. Completely innocuous. Now, she may have actually thought they were saying, let's go, Brandon, because of the way that the chant is uttered. It fits the same pattern. But something tells me she kind of knew what they were saying and she was covering, but I don't think there was any real agenda to it like some have suggested. But this is the phrase that has just pissed everybody off. An NBC News columnist says that Let's Go Brandon went viral in no small part because media outlets leapt at the chance to clutch their pearls over an F-bomb directed Biden's way and to pontificate on the supposed deeper meaning behind the spread of the phrase. Slate called the new meme the new right-wing rallying cry, and NBC's Today Show referred to it as a battle cry. Clinton White House Press Secretary Joe Lockhart compared the slogan to secret messages used by Nazis or the Ku Klux Klan. Washington Post reporters Ashley Parker and Carissa Wolf dedicated an entire article to exploring how Let's Go Brandon symbolizes a broader socioeconomic and cultural alienation among conservatives. And of course, CNN had to go further, calling the phrase not patriotic. Oh my God. The right has grabbed onto a phrase that says F Joe Biden and turned it into something that is, you know, safe for work and safe to say around the kids. And we're supposed to lose our ever-loving minds over this. Yet, just a few short years ago, Robert De Niro was able to appear on stage at the Tonys and say this.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert De Niro.
I'm going to say one thing. Fuck Trump. It's no longer down with Trump, it's fuck Trump.
Yay! He said the F word on CBS. Woo! Yeah, saying F Joe Biden during the Xfinity race, that was actually on cable, you dipshits. Kathy Griffith can hold up a severed head looking like Trump, and that's okay. But Let's Go Brandon is the equivalent to, I guess, January 6th? Now, in the ultimate show of strength, this past week before the NASCAR Championship weekend kicked off in Phoenix, NASCAR President Steve Phelps stood up and during his State of the Sport address repudiated its association with Let's Go Brandon. Phelps said, "I feel for Brandon. I think unfortunately it speaks to the state of where we are as a country. We do not want to associate ourselves with politics, the left or the right. We obviously have, and we always have had, as a sport, tremendous respect for the office of the president, no matter who is sitting. Do we like the fact that it kind of started with NASCAR and then is gaining ground elsewhere? No, we're not happy about that. But we will continue to make sure that we have respect for the office of the president." He went on to say that NASCAR will also pursue legal action against any illegal use of its trademarks on merchandise boasting the slogan. So basically, if you make a Let's Go Brandon shirt and you make it look like the NASCAR logo, that's not okay with them. And they're going to come after you, saying it's not okay that you're using our trademarks illegally. That's what he's worried about. Steve Phelps, this guy, I take umbrage, if you will, with one thing that he said here, where he said that we don't want to be involved in politics, the left or the right. I'm going to call bullshit on that one, Steve, okay? And the reason I'm going to call BS on that is last year during the Newsgate at Talladega Superspeedway involving one Darrell Wallace Jr., a.k.a. Bubba, you were the first person in front of cameras and on the radio shouting from the rafters that we're going to find the son of a bitch who did this and they're going to be run out of this sport. This has no place in our sport, blah, 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 blah. You popped off without having any facts, any details, nothing. You were quick to judge. You were looking for somebody to pin it on. Obviously, you get political. So you're the woke idiot doing woke stupid stuff. And let me tell you, you look so strong standing there saying, we don't like the Let's Go Brandon thing. I don't know. If I were NASCAR President Steve Phelps, I'd actually be okay with it, because there are enough people out there who will probably look up to see, where did this originate from? And then you get more clicks. And in today's society, isn't it all about the gram? Aren't you doing it for the brand? Aren't you doing it for the clicks? Steve Phelps needs to go away, and NASCAR needs strong leadership once again. Let's pause a moment here to talk about protein bars. Do you like a good snack throughout the day, but you'd rather not pack on the pounds while doing it? Well, hey, I've got great news. Built Bar is here to save the day. They've got so many flavors. There's something for everyone. When you talk to a Built Bar fan, like me, they're passionate about their favorites. They've got amazing flavors like coconut, which is death for me, but hey, maybe it works for you. Mint brownie, which I love. Double chocolate, salted caramel, cookies and cream, which is great, and more. Hey, if you can't pick a flavor right off the bat, you can get a mixed box. What is a mixed box? You'll get 2 of each of their 9 regular flavors. Built Bars have up to 18 grams of protein, and they're 180 calories or less. Only 4 to 5 grams of sugar, and only 4 or 5 net carbs. But you wouldn't know it by tasting them, because they taste amazing. You can take care of your sweet tooth and still be healthy. How about that? And now you can get your Built Bars even faster. How? Check this out. The new URL is built.com. It's no longer builtbar.com. You get to save 3 letters. Think about the time it takes for you to type in BAR. Now you don't have to do it. And for you, the loyal audience of TV's Rob is Unwoke, Built Bar is giving you a discount off your first order. Go to built.com and use the promo code TV's Rob to save 10% off your first order. Use promo code TV's Rob for 10% off at built.com.
He's Unwoke.
And one last thing about Let's Go Brandon before moving on to other things. Did y'all see Republican Representative Lauren Boebert's dress from this past week after the elections? If you haven't, you need to go look it up. But she decided that she was going to troll AOC AOC's, you remember the whole Met Gala tax the rich dress, the white dress with the red lettering? Well, Lauren Boebert got her back, and she got her back really good, wearing a red dress with white lettering that says, "Let's go Brandon" across the back. And I'm not going to lie, looking at the two side by side, I definitely think Boebert rocked that dress a whole lot better than AOC rocked hers. Don't believe me? Go look it up. Go look it up. Tell me I'm wrong. Who do you think wore it better? AOC's Tax the Rich dress or Lauren Boebert's Let's Go Brandon dress? Leave a comment. Hit me up on Twitter at TV's Rob Official. Tell me, who wore it better? All right, now we've reached the part of the show where I talk about frustration. And I teased this on Twitter last week with a little picture. I went to the car dealership where I bought my car to get its regularly scheduled maintenance, because if you don't do that, then warranties get voided and all that other crap. So I go up to the dealership and I decide, hey, you know what? It's just an oil change and checking the fluids and all that other stuff. It shouldn't take too long. I'll go ahead and just hang out here rather than, get the courtesy shuttle or have Nikki pick me up or anything like that. And I get a little bored waiting in the little lobby area. So I decide, hey, I'm just going to walk around the lot and see just how much this chip shortage is affecting dealership inventory. How much this log jam of supplies and everything is really affecting, business. So I go outside and I start walking around and I see, trucks and SUVs. I see the new Broncos, which the look of those things has started to grow on me. I don't hate it as much as I did when they first announced them and first debuted them. I will say that I still think that any Bronco should only come in one color, and that color is white. And if you know, you know. And if you don't know, go look up famous white Ford Broncos. That's all you need to do. But then I get around to the other side of the lot, and I see lined up Mustangs. I'm thinking, oh, okay, let's see what we've got here. Well, there was one Mustang, and it was the premium build of the GT, so at least it had a V8 5-liter engine. And I'm thinking, all right, I can get down on that. But it's an automatic transmission. What the hell? Why even bother? I get it. A lot of people out there can't drive stick. I get it. I understand. But there's something about a performance car with an automatic transmission that just seems wrong to me. And you could say, oh, but TV's Rob, they have the little paddle shifters and you can control the car that way. No, you can't, because it's still very electronic. There's a delay. There's a lag when you hit those little paddles. Doesn't work the same as a manual gearbox where you are telling the car, bitch, you're shifting right now. We're upshifting. We're downshifting. We're going. We're taking off. We're going to burn this rubber down. But then sitting next to the one Mustang coupe fastback that they had, there were 4 of those god-awful, I want to burn every single one of them down, Mustang Mach-Es. And it's even worse than just the Mustang Mach-E. No. Now it's the Mustang Mach-E GT. Oh, no. I get it. These eco douchebags want to push us to electric cars. Elon Musk, I personally blame you, because you are the biggest person in this EV race. But these EV things have got to go. It's got to stop. I read a report. The next generation of Mustang, they're going to start electrification. And that's due to arrive in 2023. The 2022 models are already going to see a reduction in horsepower, a reduction of torque, making them less fun, more tame. And the reason that they're doing this is because stricter emissions regulations. Even in the documentary Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, There was a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt that said, "America is all about speed. Hot, nasty, badass speed." Well, guess what you're not getting with an EV? Hot, nasty, badass speed. Okay? America's built on muscle, on power. You don't feel power in an EV. And Ford going down this road with its most iconic car breaks my heart. But it gets even worse because Mopar, Dodge, even they're getting in on it. In fact, they're actually taking it a step further. Dodge wants future muscle car fans to, quote, tear up the streets, not the planet, unquote. The performance-focused brand has confirmed it will launch an all-electric muscle car by 2024. I guess a car that's silent and running on a battery is considered muscle? Would this be the soy muscle car? I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. The douchebag CEO of Dodge says that Dodge has reached the limits of performance with its V8 engines and that it has an obligation to embrace electrification for its customers. Details on the car still haven't been completely revealed, but a computer-rendered teaser depicted a 4-tire burning coupe with lines that resembled the 1968 Dodge Charger. Oh my God. Okay, let me ask you. Which do you prefer, a car that sounds like this? Or a car that sounds like this going down the road? So help me, if you say the second one, I will scream. I will cancel my own podcast if you say option number 2. Don't make me do that. But I think you get what I'm getting at. The eco idiots have got to stop. This is getting absolutely ridiculous. Where is the joy in life? Where is the fun? Where is the pleasure if this is what we're going to be stuck with? But that's going to do it for me for this episode of TV's Rob is Unwoke. Again, I am your humble host, TV's Rob, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the ride with me today. Leave a voice message for the show at anchor.fm/TV's Rob is Unwoke. Also, if you want to come on the show and chit-chat about whatever's on your mind, hit me up on Twitter at TV's Rob_official. Special thanks to my wife and producer, Nikki. You can follow her on Twitter at DFW Radio Girly. Also, Derpy Cat Ryoga, who's around here somewhere. You can follow him on Twitter at Cat Ryoga. Tell your friends about the show. Go to Apple Podcasts. Rate the show 5 stars. Give it a review. Let people know what the hell's going on around here. I don't even know what's going on, but hey, maybe somebody has a clue. Maybe it's you. I'm TV's Rob. This is TV's Rob is Unwoke, and I'll catch you next time.